Right. We are at number 1. Look at number 1. That's where we're at. Number 1 at the top. All right. Just the people up here. I Mario. We're going to number 2. 2 is that will be you. We're at number what? Okay. Mayaka Allah, present thyself in thy registry.
Mayaka Allah, Banya.
Mayaka Allah. Oh, slacking. Do this. Hold out our swords. Slacking. We put them together. Say it one more time.
Mayaka Allah, Banya.
Repeat after me. Mayaka Allah, Bangad, Banya Shala.
Yahabashim Yashab Rakatham.
And we salute. Then you have to put it back in. Just hold it. Yahweh Shimya and Shabrakata. You're the person that has to invite him on stage. Always go in front of the officer. Always go in front. Here. Don't sit down. Yeah, you never sit down. So awesome. Okay, we're on number 9. Okay, once he gets in the middle, now we're on number 9. Okay, so I'll go again. Once he comes up, we go to number 9. Okay. Okay, we are now on number what? 10. Okay.
La Yasha Allah.
Okay, we're on the next page. Okay, now we're on number 20. Yeah, up here does a little bit. Okay. Okay, so now put that over there for that. So on 21, we uncover the scroll. Just put it down. Right. We uncover the scroll. What number are we on? Okay. Actually, we're still on number 21. I'm going to actually have you do this. On 21, you're going to read that. You're going to say, Amadium Wapanya Hakwadam, which means rise and face the east. You can go ahead and call it. Tell everybody Amadium.
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 Amadium. Wakat.
Wapanya.
Wampanya. Hakwadam.
Which means
rise and face the east.
Okay, we're going to do right. I'm going to a right turn, start all the way around. You count it 1, 2, 2. You count it 1, 2. Okay. Excellent. All right. Grab your notebook. I want you to call it out. Saying we're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, then in the English. Go back. Go back. Go all the way to the Lord's Prayer. All right, and call out. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, then in the English.
We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and in English.
In English. All right, I'll read the Hebrew, and then after that, you do the English. Okay.
Lord's Prayer.
Abinel. Shabbat Shemayim. Wadah. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malak Waska. Kaba'ah. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ma'aratiza. Hawa. Hayah. Shemayim. Nathalan now. Lakum. Call. Yawam. Wasalat now. Kabawak now. Kasalat now. Kabawak now. Wala'ah. Ayin now. Manasaya 1. Abal. Kawashai now. Mayan. Ra.
Ra,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Hamalakwa,
Malakwa,
Aha'ala,
Ala,
Wahakapa Ara,
Ra,
Ba'avalonium,
Amun,
Aman.
Amun. And in English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
on earth
on earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not to temptation.
Lead us not to temptation,
But deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
Thine is the kingdom
And the power.
and the power
And the glory.
and the glory
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. This is Hakak the power.
Hakak the power and Hebrew.
This is Hakak the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashim Yahushua.
Hakak.
Baba Kusha. Nathanael. Hakak. Hakak. Rapa'a. Kamaka Allah. Wakol Manawa. Hakak. Natahar. Hamatazarani. Hakak. Lahakim. Hamakim. Hakak. Arakawa. Fatima Allah. Lagarashim. Lagarasham. Bahashim Yahushua. The Wadama.
And in English, the Lord's name,
So Yahweh in the name Yahushua.
the name and
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
In the name Yahushua.
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name Yahushua.
please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal
Power to heal
all manner of sickness,
all manner of sickness
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of
the
disease.
power to cleanse the leper,
The power to clean the leper.
the power to raise the
The
dead,
power to raise the dead.
the power to cast them out,
Power to cast them out. A power against unclean spirit.
a power against the unclean spirit,
The power against unclean spirits.
to cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name Yahushua.
thank you,
Thank you.
so be it.
So be it.
Blessing Israel in
Okay.
Hebrew,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Bahashim Yahushua. Barak Lanah. Wayasha'ala. Wahabaya. Support.
Sapar,
Barak.
Barak,
Bahashim Yahushua. The Wadama.
and what he just said was the Lord's name, Yahweh,
Yahweh.
and name Yahweh Shai.
And name Yahushua.
Please bless Israel,
Bless us.
bless us,
Bless us
Israel,
and Israel
and the school,
and the school.
in the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you,
Thank you.
so be it.
So be it.
We're reading Psalms 121 in Hebrew.
Aisha. Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahari.
Ahahari.
Ma'ayan. Yaba'a. Izari. Ma'an. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayam. Wa'aratiza. Ayatan. Lamawat. Ragolka. Ayanawam. Shamarka. Ana. La'a. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yishan. Shamamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Ayah. Yinka. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'a. Yakaka. Wayarap. Bala Yala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makora. Yashamar. Atnapasta. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'aka. Wawaka. Mayata. Wa'ai. Awalam. Aman.
And in English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer my foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Most High is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite me by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in,
From this time forth.
from this time forth,
And even forevermore.
even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 83 in Hebrew.
Alahai.
Alahayim.
Alta Mayalaka.
Al-Yalaka.
Alta Karash.
Al-Takarash.
For Alta Shakwat.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al.
Al.
Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayabika.
Al-Yabika.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Woman Shanayaka.
Al-Mushanayaka.
That's Awan.
Nashoshawa.
Ra'at.
Ra'ash.
Al Imaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'ara Yamwa.
Ya'ayyawa.
Sawa.
Sawa.
Wayata Ya'ata Zawa.
Boyitaya Aitazawa.
Altazapa Wanyaka.
Al-Zapa Wanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amara.
Lakabwa.
Kawa.
Wanakakina.
Wakakina.
Magoya.
Magari.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yashikar.
Yashikar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Iwa.
Aiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ata Zawa.
Noah Aitazawa.
Love.
La.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Ayaka.
Mayaka.
Raya.
Raya.
Yakarakwa.
Rathwa.
Ahoya.
Ahoya.
Alawam.
Alawam.
With Shemai Alayam.
I Aliyum.
Abba. Hagarian.
Hagarian.
Gabal.
Gabal.
I'm one.
I'm one.
I'm a lot.
I'm a lot.
Palashah.
I was shot.
And Yeshabia.
I was shot.
Because of war.
That's the war.
Come Ashwar.
Gum Ashawar.
Lawab.
Now what?
Imam.
Amam.
Ayawab.
Amigwa.
Zarawai.
Tarawai.
Abanya Lawab.
Abanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Ishalaham.
Ashalaham.
Kamadin.
Kamadin.
Kasiyasara'ab.
Asiyasara'ab.
Kayabin.
Kayabin.
Nakal.
Nakal.
Koyaslim.
Koyaslim.
Shamadwam.
Ashamadwa.
Ba'ayan da Arab.
Yanda Arab.
Ayawab.
Aywa.
Daman.
Daman.
Adama.
Adama.
Sayatamba.
Sayatamba.
The Diyabawa.
Lagu.
Ka'irab.
Arab.
Because of Abba.
Because of Abba.
Because of Bak.
Because of Bad.
Because of Zalmanan.
Zalmanan.
Paul.
Paul.
Let's say Kamwa.
That's like Kamala.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Rashad.
Ashar.
Nawab.
Mawad.
Ab.
Ab.
Awab.
Awad.
Alahayim.
Allahayat.
Alahayim.
Allahayat.
Sayatamba.
Sayatamba.
Kagogla.
Kagogla.
Kukwash.
Kukwash.
Kapanyaraka.
Panyaraka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Saba'ari Island.
Da'ayri. Ayri.
Kalahaba.
Kalahaba.
Kalahat.
Kalahat.
Hardy.
Hari.
Khan.
Khan.
The Redatma.
The Redatma.
Masa Africa.
Ayri.
What was Pafka?
Absolutely. Pafka.
Tabalaham.
Tabalaham.
Mala'ab.
Wa'ab.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kuala One.
Kuala One.
Where you Bakwashwa.
Where you Bakwashwa.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahala.
Yahala.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Where you Bahoa.
Yeah, you Bahar.
Ayai.
Ayri.
Where you Kapara.
Yeah, you Bahar.
Where you Abadwa.
Yeah, Bad.
Where you Da'aiwa.
Yeah, Da'aiwa.
Kaya.
Yeah.
Atha.
Atha.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahala.
Yahala.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Ayawan.
Ayawan.
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Ratisa.
Ratisa.
Amam.
Aman. And in English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence on your heart.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still on your heart.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
They that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
and lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken counsel
against thy people.
against thy people
And consulted against thy hidden.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
let us cut them off.
let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
In the name of Israel,
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom
Tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Israelites
of Moab
of Moab
and the Hagarenes
and the Hagarenes,
Cabal
Cabal
and Ammon
and Ammon
and Amalek
and Amalek,
the Philistines
the Philistines,
the inhabitants of Tyre
the inhabitants of Tyre,
also joined with them.
as he also joined with them.
They have Hopel and children of Salah.
They have opened the children of Lot,
Salah.
Salah,
Do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sarah,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
as the brook of Kassan,
as broken Kassan,
which perished at Endor.
which perished in indoors.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a rat,
Make their nobles like a rat,
and like Zeed,
like that.
yea,
Yeah,
all their princes,
all the princes,
as Sabat,
as Sabbath,
and as the moon,
and as the moon,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
O my power,
Oh my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stumble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth in wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flames set up the mountains on fire.
and as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them,
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid,
and make them afraid
with thy storm,
with thy storm.
fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy
that
name.
they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
Oh Yahweh,
let them be confounded,
let them be confounded,
and troubled forever.
trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame,
let them be put to shame
and perish.
and perish,
That men they know,
and then they know
that
that thou,
whose name alone,
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High,
art the Most High,
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
Blessings in Hebrew.
The blessings of the power structure. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
When Yahweh Shah.
When Yahweh Shah.
When Yahweh Allah.
When Yahweh Allah.
Allah Hayim.
Allah Hayim.
Matazabaya.
Matazabaya.
Allah Wak Yahanam.
Allah Wak Yahanam.
Allah Wakyam.
Allah Wakyam.
Hasarayim.
Hasarayim.
Hakwatasa Yanyam.
Hakwatasa Yanyam.
Hakayayoyam.
Hakayayoyam.
Waha'at Wakyam.
Wakyam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bashim Yahweh Shah.
Bashim Yahweh Shah.
Bawara Aman.
Bawara Aman.
And in English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
And Commander General Yohanan.
Commander General Yohanan.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The
The
officers.
officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is these are the curses. Blessing you, Yahweh.
Blessed you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against
And
us.
speak against us.
The prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure
Shake loose the treasure
of the rich of Israel.
of the rich of
That
Israel.
refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to get to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches
To enter to that sanctuary.
into that sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
The Edomites.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And the drug
And
dealers.
the drug.
The court
The
system.
court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments are our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinhead.
Skinhead.
Pasta Kamatata.
Hospital ties.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
Spy.
Spy.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
That's the space program.
That's the space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force. Marine.
Marine.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet
And the airwaves.
and the
The
airways.
cable access channel.
The cable access channel
And the radio channel.
and the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit
Many of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop
and
us
bring swift destruction.
and bring swift destruction
So all the heathen
of all the heathen
that stand in the way
that stand in the way
and try to stop
or
us
trying to stop us
from broadcasting your word
from broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the planet.
Let loose all the plague.
Let loose all the planet.
Let loose all the plague.
Cause to go to and fro
Cause them to go to and
through
from
the earth
the earth
and consume
and
it.
consume it.
Let the plague
Let the plague
take the house of the thief
take the house of the thief
and the murder.
and the murder.
Let Yahweh Shah,
Let Yahweh Shah,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucer
down with the flying
and
saucer
punish all the heathen
and punish all the
who
heathen
come up against us
comes against us.
as we speak thy words.
And speak thy word.
Because we know
Must be known
by
by
all
all.
it is the angels
As
that
the angel
have done it.
that have done.
Because we spread
Cause to be spread
through the media
through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Because the shake of thy company.
Comes the shake of that
The
company.
name Yahweh Shah.
Name Yahweh Shah.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
1 second. Okay, we're on number 29. Go back up to the second page. All the way in the front. All the way in the front. On number 29. All the way in the front. Go to the second page. Yeah, the second page. The second page. You're on the first page. Oh, that's the second. Okay. We're on 29 at the down at the bottom. Okay. SAR, which means to we're going to do a hapak to our right. 1, 2, 3, hapak.
Okay. Okay. Actually, we're not on 29. We're actually on 24. Look at 24. My fault. That was my fault.
Oh.
124. Okay, so now we're on 20. Yeah, we're still on 24. So then we tell the people out here. Yeshabium. We're gonna put this down. We can put it right out here. Actually, yeah. Okay. Yeshabium, y'all take a seat. Okay, so we're on number 25. Look at 25. So actually, I'm supposed to know what the congregation know. So let me see that. No, so I'm supposed to know. Okay, so last time we were, thank you. Last time we were reading the judgments of the Most High. We were reading the judgments. So again, we're going to go back into the judgments. We're going to go back into the judgments. So let's go to Exodus 21. If I go to Exodus 21, follow along your blue letter Bible or your Bible that you have. And we're going to start in verse 31. We're reading the judgments. Can anybody tell me what the judgments are? Well, go ahead, Darash.
The judgments are the things that you have to do, and if you don't do it, then there will be consequences.
Okay, that's a good start. So the judgments are how we deal with people when it comes to our day-to-day interactions on our job, how we deal with people in our nation, when we're dealing with their belongings, and what consequences come from the judgments if they're broken. Okay, so this is how we deal with people on a day-to-day basis. These are the judgments. If you remember, in Psalm 19, it says the judgments of the Most High are true. So we're going to be looking at more of the judgments today, and we're going to be reading. We're always going to read it in the Hebrew first. So we're in Exodus 21. We're reading verses 31 to 36, and then we're going to Exodus 22. Exodus chapter 21, verse 31 in the Hebrew. Awa, ban, yagak. Awa, ba, yagak. Kama shapat, hazah, aisha, lawa. Verse 32. Ibad, yagak. Ashawar, awa, ama, kasat, shalashim, shaqualium, yathan, ladanyawa, waha, shawar, yasaqual. Verse 33. Wakaya, yapathak, ayash, mawar, awam, kaya, yakara, ayash, bara, wala'a, Slack it. Yaka Sanwa, Wana Paul, Shema, Shawar, Awa, Kamawar. Verse 34. Ba'al, Habawar, Yashalom, Kasat, Yashayab, Laba'al Yawa, Wahamath, Yahaya, Lawa. Verse 35. Wakaya, Yagat, Shawar, Ayash, Af, Shawar, Ra'aihawa, Wamath, Wamakarwa, Af, Hashawar, Hakaya, Wataza, Wakatazawa, Af, Kasatwa, Wagam, Af, Hamath, Yakatazawan. Verse 36. Awa, Nawadai, Kaya, Shawar, Nagat, Hawa'a, Matha Mawal, Shalasham, Wala'a, Ya Shamar Nawa, Ya Shamar Nawa, Ba'al Yawa, Shalom, Ya Shalom, Shawar, Thakaf, Hashawar, Wahamath, Yahaya, Lawa. We're now at Exodus chapter 22, verse 1. Kaya, Yaganab, Ayash, Shawar, Awa, Sham, Watabakwa, Awa, Makarwa, Hamasham, Bakwar, Yeshalam, Thakaf, Hashawar, Wa'arabai, Taza'an, Thakaf, Hasha, and that's it. Shalom, sis. We're going to be reading Exodus 21, 31 through 36, and the Exodus 22, verse 1 in the English.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 31. Whether he have gored a son or have gored a daughter, according to this judgment shall it be done unto him. Verse 32. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned.
Okay, stop right there. So this is talking about, this is pretty much animal control. Okay, keep your animals under control. If your animal pretty much harms somebody, or does something, like if your animal actually if your animal gored or actually killed somebody, that the animal has to be taken out, or you have to pay a certain type of money for it. It's kind of like taking care of the vet bills. If your dog bit somebody, you would take care of their vet bills. They got bit up. Okay. So this is just pretty much saying how you should handle a situation if your animal's, out of control. Okay. And honestly, there's a precept, honestly, to this too. If your animal is out of control a number of times and you're not purposely handling that animal, the animal and the person would have to be put to death. Okay, you got a wild pit bull that just keeps going out mauling children. You're not, putting your pit bull. I'm just trying to use a modern term, and it's harming people. You would also have to have consequences as well. Keep your animal under control. Keep going.
Verse 33. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein. Verse 34. The owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his.
Okay, so if you're making a pit, you cover up the pit and not letting people know there's a pit there, like putting a sign, and your animal or something like that, or whatever you have, falls into the pit and dies, then you have to make restitution for that. Okay, you have to compensate for that. Okay. You can't just leave the person hanging like, well, that's your dog. Your dog fell through and died. Okay, you will not only have to take care of the dead dog or the dead animal, but you got to compensate that person, because you got to think anciently animals were also helped you work your fields. Okay, that's why part of the Sabbath law says you got to have your ox to rest you. Your ox or they got to rest too. Okay, because your animal actually helped you work the fields and plow. Your animal did that. So if your animal's dying, you're losing money. Okay, so that's why you would make restitution if somebody's animal fell into your pit. Okay, keep going.
Verse 34. Select. Verse 35. And if one man's ox hurt another's, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it.
Okay, so if your ox killed somebody else's, okay, then you're gonna have to sell the ox to, again, once you make compensation, restitution. Keep going.
And the dead ox also they shall divide.
They both have to take care of that, whatever was lost with that. Keep going.
Verse 36. Or if it be known that the ox hath used to push in time past, and his owner hath not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own.
Okay, so this is all just talking about making restitution. Okay, keep going. One more scripture.
Chapter 22, verse 1.
Make sure you tell the book.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 1. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep.
Okay, so pretty much if you steal something or you kill something that didn't belong to you, this is how you deal with people that are, thieves. These are the judgments for when some, what are they, people that steal things. They just can't keep stuff of their own. They got to take other people. So these are the judgments. So if somebody steals something, they got to restore 4 or 5 fold to make up for it, to send them a message that you shouldn't have been stealing in the first place. So that means they get fined. Nowadays it'd be like you're fined. You stole something. Now you get, whatever, $30,000, $20,000 fine so that you won't do it anymore. Okay. But see, if you notice in the Most High's judgments, the judgments fit the crime. The oppressor, his judgments a lot of times don't fit the crime, especially dealing with the blacks, Hispanic, and Native man. Okay. He overdoes his judgments, okay, to just keep us in a type of slavery or bondage. That's why if you notice, his judgments are not the same depending on the race of people that he deals with. Okay, 2 of the same people can have the same crime, but the judgment will be harsher for a black or Hispanic. The judgment will be different than if it's a colonizer. They'll always have a sad sob story for him. But this judgment is for all Israel, whether you're rich, poor, whatever, man, woman. These judgments are, they're fair. Remember, the Most High said you have to judge righteously. These are righteous judgments. Okay, and that's it. All right, just the people up here. Money. Sort of. Darash, present thyself in thy registry. Darash Abath,
The Rashna,
Ban Yahawada,
Ban Yahawda,
Ban Yasha'ala.
Ban Yasha'al.
Darash Ama, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasha'ala. Salute.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh
Yahweh Ba Shem Yah and Shah Brakatah. Hold him there. Hold there. Hold on. Make sure this guy walks off the stage first, and then you call him up. Make sure he walks in front of you. Don't sit down yet. Wait till I sit down. Yeshabim. Okay, now we're going to be reading. What is this? Exodus chapter 22. We're going to read verses 2 through 8 in the Hebrew, then we'll read in the English. We're going to read it in the Hebrew first. Exodus chapter 22, verse 2 in the Hebrew. B'makathorath yamataza'ah haganab wahaka wamath ayan lawam damayam. Verse 3. Zaraka Hashamash Alyawa Damayam Lawa Shalom. Okay. Oh, Salakia. I was saying that word wrong. Damyam Salakia. Lawa Shalom. Yashalam. Ayan. Lawa. Wana Makar. Baga Nabathwa. Verse 4. Hamataza Samataza Bayadwa. Haga Naba. Hasham Ha Mashal War. Id. Kama War. Id. Sham. Kayayam. Stranyam. Yashalam. Verse 5. Kaya. Yaba'ar. Ayash. Shada. Awa. Karam. Washalak. Af. Ba'ai. Yaram. Waba'ar. Bashada. Akar. Maya Tab. Shada Hawa. Shadawa. Wamayatab. Karamwa. Yashalam. Verse 6. Kaya Tataza Ash. Wamataza Aha. Kwatazayam. Wana call. Gadish. Gadiyash. It's like him. Awam. Hakwamam. Awa. Hashada. Shalom. Yashalam. Hamaba'ar. Af. Haba'ara. Verse 7. Kaya Yatan. Ayash. Al. Ra'ai Hawa. Kasat. Awa. Kolyam. Lashamar. Waganab. Mabayaf. Awayash. Yamataza. Haganab. Yashalam. Stranyam. Verse 8. La'a. Yamataza. Haganab. Wana Korab. Ba'al. Habayaf. Ha'alayam. La'a. Shalak. Yadwa. Mamala Kaf. Ra'aihawa. And that's it. Okay, we're going to be reading Exodus 22, verses 2 through 8 in the English.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 2 through 8. If a
Thief.
if a thief be found breaking up and be
Smitten.
smitten, that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him.
Okay, can anybody explain that scripture? So if a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he died, there should be no blood shed for him. What does that mean? Go ahead, Mayat, Officer Mayat.
Does that do with being executed?
Who being executed? Okay, so well, explain that. Expound on that. What do you mean?
So you said no bloodshed, and normally bloodshed means like murder, like execution.
Okay, let me read again. It says, if a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall be no bloodshed for him.
There should be no bloodshed.
Mm-hmm.
Like no revenge, bro?
Okay, yes, you're on the right track, pretty much. Can somebody tell me why? So, Sister Yahweh? Well, pretty much, yeah. He came in at night. You don't know what, if somebody's breaking your house at night, this pretty much script saying you have the right to defend your home. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're doing. You don't even honestly know if he's a thief. He's just coming into your property. And, you have to defend your family. Your baby the baby's room could be downstairs. You don't know what that brother is doing or sister, whoever. But it's pretty much saying it's night. I don't know. I didn't know who he was. They ain't belong in my house. Okay. So this is a precept to protect, for you to protect your property, your home. So if you killed that thief, maybe they were just there to steal something out of your fridge, but you don't know. You saw somebody in your kitchen, and you just, shot him with the shotgun. Bam. There's no, revenge for that because you didn't know what they were doing. You probably got scared. You're like, well, somebody's downstairs. Okay, let's look at verse 3. Go ahead.
Verse 3. If the sun be rising upon him, there shall be bloodshed for him.
Stop right there. Okay, so what does this mean? If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be bloodshed for him. What does that mean? Go ahead, Officer Marriott.
The son of the thief, if he be risen, he said there shall be bloodshed for him.
If the sun, this is talking about the sun, the light in the sky. If the sun be risen. So pretty much if it's daylight, go ahead. It said there shall be bloodshed for him. If it's daylight now. You remember, somebody's in your refrigerator at night, you're just walking down there, and you just go ahead.
Because before the sunrise, you see who they are.
Exactly.
You don't know their identity when they're entering your home, because it could be anybody. So when the sun rises, there shall be no bloodshed.
Well, it says shall be bloodshed. So why? Why is it saying that? You were on the right track.
Because you know his identity, and afterwards you can now probably establish the fact that this person broke into my house and he is to be killed.
Well, not necessarily, but if you see what the person's doing. So this is, you go downstairs, it's daylight, and you see somebody in your refrigerator. Okay, it's like, the penalty shouldn't be like, well, I'm going to put 3 in your chest and 2 in your head now. Okay, because you see what they're trying to do. They're trying to steal from you. So if you go ahead, now this is premeditated. You like, somebody's in your yard at night. Let's just say in your yard, they're getting some grapes, so they got a basket. You see what the thief's intent is. He ain't there to harm you per se. He's there to just steal something. And you're like, oh, you going to steal from me? Bam. Now you're taking them out again. Now that's a different type of spirit because you're like, how dare you? So now there is going to be a consequence for that because you see what he's doing. If you looked out your window, say at night, you're like, oh, somebody in my yard, I don't know who that is. And you self-defense because you don't know their intent. That's different. But if you see in the daylight, the man's in your yard putting grapes in a basket, he's taking your apples. Okay, you don't go ahead and get your shotgun and be like, oh, he's dead. He's a dead man. Okay, now this is premeditated, like, oh, because now now you're upset with the brother, but it shouldn't be the penalty, the consequence shouldn't be, oh, well, now I got to kill him. Okay, so that means that there's a penalty for that. Go ahead.
So not like instead of that, know what they look like, and so just like more like confrontation.
Well, I mean, you can prevent them, but it's pretty much saying you can see their intent. If you see their intent, then the consequences should fit the crime, or what should fit. It shouldn't be like, I got to murder this man now. Okay, he's got to die because you see what's going on. All right, keep going. For he shall make. Okay, go ahead.
For he should make full
Restitution.
restitution. If he had nothing, then he shall be sold for his thief.
For his theft. Okay, so pretty much the reason why you should let the person live if it's daylight is because now they have to pay. They have to, they have to pay for it. Okay, now they have to pay for it to pretty much, I don't know what Mataz was, but Mataz, when he laughs, he makes me laugh. So I don't know what Mataz was laughing, but no, but now he's got to make full restitution. That's why you want him to live so he can pay for his penalty. You shouldn't just try to just slaughter him. Okay, pretty much. Okay. If he can't pay for it, then he's sold into, he's got to, make up for it. He's got to work for it. Okay, verse 4. Let's keep it going. Verse 4. Okay, no, sir, go ahead. Take over for him. Verse 4.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 4. If the thief be certainly found and his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double.
Okay, you should restore double for what you've done. Go ahead.
Verse 5. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field of the best of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution.
Okay, you allow your animal to run wild. Certain animals, especially, run wild in somebody else's yard. They're eating up, they're tearing up your stuff. You got to restore them because remember, you're responsible for your animal. You're responsible for your dog or your whatever you have, your tiger. Tyson has a tiger. Whatever you have, you're responsible for. Keep going. Verse 6.
If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of the corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindled the fire shall surely make restitution.
Okay, you've actually starting the fire, catches on somebody else's field, burns up all their crops. You have to pay for it. Keep going.
Verse 7. If a man shall deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff that to keep and to be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double.
Okay, so if you were borrowing something, somebody stole something, you let somebody hold something, and it was stolen out of your house, okay? If the thief is found, then the thief has to pay for it, okay? You were in charge of the belongings, but the thief came in, you didn't know somebody was breaking the house, now the thief pays double. Verse 8.
If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges to see
Whether.
whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods.
Excellent. So pretty much, if I let somebody hold something, let's say Matazba was holding something of mine, and then it's gone, and we don't find, and Matazba says, oh, well, the thief came in and stole it. We don't find this thief. Now we got to bring Matazba to go before the judges because the judges have to, it's kind of like going to council to figure out, to make a judgment whether Matazba really stole my items or not. Okay. They have to inquire, finding out his side of the story, finding out what happened to see if its story adds up. Okay. And that's it. Go ahead.
Lucky, if I could. And you have to see if the thief actually stole the stuff, because if you accuse somebody for something that they didn't do, that means that you could have lied.
That's exactly right.
Everybody else to say that somebody stole something, but they really didn't. So that's why you have to go through the process of seeing if that person actually stole from you.
Excellent point. Give him a hand for that. Excellent point. That's why you go before the judge, because we want to see if the person really did steal something or a thief came. That's exactly right. All right. Good work. This is the rush. All right. Just the people up here, Imadium. Officer Alazar, present thyself in thy registry. Alazar, Banyahawada, Banyasha'al. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshua Brakatah. You shot me. Okay. All right, we're going to be reading Exodus 22, 9 through 15. We're going to read that in the Hebrew first, and then we're going to read it in the English. Exodus chapter 22, verse 9 in the Hebrew. Al called Dabar, Hash, Bashah, Al, Bashaya, Al, Shawar, Al, Kamal War, Al, Shah, Al, Shalama, Al, Call, Abadah, Ashar, Ya'amar, Kayam, Hawa, Za, I, Alahayim, Yaba'ah, Dabar, Shanyaham, Ashar, Yarashar, Ya'ain, Alahayim, Yashalam, Shanyam, Lara'ahaywa. Verse 10. Where am I reading to? I'm sorry. Verse 15. The water. Verse 10. Kaya, Yatan, Ayash, Al, Ra'ayhawa, Kamawar, Awa, Shawar, Awa, Sham, Wakal, Bahama, Lashamar, Wamath, Awa, Neshabar, Awa, Neshabab, Ayan, Ra'aha. Verse 11. Shaba'ai, Yahawam, Fahaya, Bayan, Shayaham, La'a, Shalak, Yadwa, Bamala, Akaf, Ra'aihawa, Wala Kwak, Ba'al Yawa, Wala Yashalam, verse 12. Ganab, Ganab, Ma'aimwa, Yashalam, Laba'al Yawa, verse 13. Tarap, Yatarap, Yaba'ahwa, I, Hatarapa, Hatarapa, La'a, Yashalam, verse 14. Wakaya, Yasha'al, Yasha'Allah, Salakia. Ayash, Ma'aim, Ra'aihawa, Wanashabar, Awa, Math, Ba'al Ayan, Ainwa, Shalom, Yashalam, verse 15. Ba'al Ainwa, La'a, Yashalam, Yakayar, Hawa'a, Ba'a, Bashakarwa. And that's it.
We're going to read Exodus chapter 22, verse 9 through 15 in the English. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor.
Okay, so if there pretty much is a dispute over property, goods, they have to bring it before the judges. The judges will make a judgment. Okay, just think of modern day like going to council and a judgment has been made. And whoever was, whatever the judgment is, you had to obey it. Keep going.
Verse 10. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or any beast to keep, and it die or be hurt or driven away, no man seeing it. Verse 11. Then shall an oath of the Lord be between them both, that he have not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good.
Okay, so this is one of those things that we were learning in UPK, like give your brother the benefit of the doubt. If Matazaba let me borrow if Matazaba went away and he let me borrow his dog, Ace, I think that's the dog's name, Ace, and I'm watching Ace, and Ace gets away, then I would have to tell Matazaba would take my word, giving me the benefit of the doubt that I didn't just take my hand and sell AIDS for a couple dollars.
Right.
Okay, that would be, that's why, you give your brother the benefit of the doubt in these situations. Okay, keep going.
Verse 12. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof.
Okay, so if it is stolen from me, he's got to make it up. Okay, all right, but let's say I know it was taken, then I can make restitution of that. Keep going.
Verse 13. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn.
Okay, something came in the yard, tore up, killed the dog. I knew it. Okay, and I'm just like, listen, the wolf came in, it had rabies, it got the dog. Okay, then you make it. I don't have to make restitution. This is showing certain things are just out of your control. Well, it's in the Lord's control, but certain things are just out of my hands. Okay, I didn't know the wolf was coming in. I didn't know the wolf was rabid, and it got the dog. Okay, keep it going.
Verse 14. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor,
And this is talking about animals per se, or borrowed something. Go ahead.
and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good.
Okay, so if I borrowed something, animal or something like that, or needed, and like I said, you got to think historically, animals were like money. Okay, like I need, hey, listen, can I hold your ox? I got to plow this field. And the ox dies, okay, or hurt, then I have to restore that to Officer Alazar or Officer Mayat. I have to restore that, okay, because it was the ox was in my care, okay. And nowadays people, you might make a contract, okay, an agreement, like, something happens.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good. If it be an hired thing, it came from his hire.
Okay, but if the owner's with it at the time, something happens, then I don't have to make it good because that's the owner is responsible for his animal. Okay, and the owner's with it, then I might have been paying him money to use it, but maybe the animal dies in his possession as we were together. That's on him now because that's really his animal he is responsible for.
Right.
All right. Come
Good. If I could, this going through all these legal manners, it's like, the Christian church is so evil because this Bible is put to establish a whole government for us. Like, we getting told like what we need to do when we dealing with things. You know what I'm saying? Your brother stuff, like, so it won't be no issues. And like none of this stuff is established within the Christian church. Like, it's just
absolutely,
it's magical. It make it seem like it's just garbage, man. And
absolutely.
And I think it need to be blown up more. Like, even going back to like the curses. Like, I think we need to give it up for the Most High, because one of the curses, like these curses have been established since like 1969. We want the Pope. We got a curse for the Pope. The Pope just died. You understand? Like, like we still it's the same prayer because we still give it up. We still curse the cable access channel. That's ancient. The cable access channel. We still cursing them. You know what I mean? Like, these curses, I think they need to be acknowledged when they come. Like, when it comes.
That's a
we've
good
been
point.
praying for them every Sabbath service, every every high holy day.
Excellent
point.
point.
Beautiful thing, man.
Excellent point. And that's actually something to think about. We do say that, and the Pope did. I didn't think of it like that, but we actually do say that every week.
Yeah.
Good point. Is that it? I think that is it. Yep.
No, that's it, sir.
All right. Just people up here. Hey, Mario. Mayaka Allah, present thyself in thy registry.
Mayaka Allah, one God, one Yahshua.
Mayaka Allah, one God, one Yahshua.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakathum.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakathum. No, not yet. What's he goes up there? Shalom. Yeshabium. Shalom, Nazis out. All right. We are going to be reading Exodus 22, 16 through 20. 16 through 22 in the Hebrew first and in the English. Exodus 22, verse 16. Wakaya, Yapatha, Ayash, Batha, Wala, Ashar, La'a, Arasham, Washakam, Aima, Mahar, Yamahar, oh, Salakia, Yamaharna, Lawa, La'asham, verse 17. Ma'an, Yama'an, Abaya, Latha Tha, Laya, Kasat, Yashakwal, Kamahar, Habathawalath. Verse 18, Makashapa, La'a, Thakaya, verse 19. Kol, Shakab, Salakia. Oh man, I'm getting older. 40 is different. Your eyes get a little better. It get worse. I mean, your eyes get worse. Verse 19. Kol, Shakab, Aim, Bahama, Mawaf, Yawamath. Verse 20. Where am I going to? 22. Verse 20. Zabak, La Alahim, Yakaram, Balathya, La Yahawa, La Badwa. Verse 21. Wagar, La'a, Thawana, La'a, Thalaka, Tazan, Ta'anwa, Kaya, Garyam, Ayayatam, Ba'arataza, Matazarium. Verse 22. Call, Alamana, Waya, Thawam, La'a, Tha'aina one. And that's it. Okay, we're going to be reading Exodus 22, 16 through 22 in the English.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her life, her to be his wife.
Okay, so pretty much the word like entice, that kind of means like seduces a woman that wasn't betrothed. That betrothed means like he didn't pay for her, he didn't pay a dowry for her. He pretty much seduced her and slept with her, pretty much didn't talk to the father, didn't talk to the family, and she didn't belong to him. It means he didn't pay any type of dowry for her. He just slept with her. Okay, then he shall endow her to be his wife. Now he's got to pay a dowry, and she shall be his wife. Verse 17.
Verse 17. If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
The father's like, no, you cannot have her. He still got to pay the bride price. Still got to pay it. Okay, keep going.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
Okay, it says thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. And any type of a witch could be someone. Shalom. Sorry. A witch could be I can't remember the exact precept. It says a rebellious spirit is a form of witchcraft. Okay, so you're rebellious against the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, and you know, like a false prophet and sorcery. Okay, so they cannot be in the land. They can't be in the camp either. Okay, it says thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. It shouldn't be there. Verse 19.
Verse 19.
Oh wait, but why? But let's ask why for that. Why? I mean, this is a no-brainer. But why should you not suffer a witch to live? Why? Go ahead. Go ahead, sis. There we go. That's perfect. It's going to brother, and it's going to get people to go after another guy. Because then now people are going to go to the witch, like the witch of Endor. Instead of Samuel going to, actually said the Lord wasn't answering, not Samuel. What's his name? Saul. Saul, it said the Lord wasn't answering Saul. What did Saul? I'm going to go to the witch. Okay? Which you're not supposed to do, because now then people, instead of seeking the Lord, they're going to seek the witch. They're going to seek the wicked witch of the east and west. And say it again. And a witch today, what's that? Like a drug dealer, right? Yeah, a drug dealer is a witch today. Okay, they get you to smoke all the stuff, and then they, and if you notice, once people get high, then they got all the answers. Okay, it's just something that's in the weed, really. Okay, that's why you shouldn't smoke the weed. Okay, because now they got all the answers. Now they can quote every Bible scripture. Now they become, now they're the priest and the prophet. Okay, after that, go ahead, Salazar.
got a whole drug pandemic that destroyed it. That's the big reason why our streets and neighborhoods are destroyed because of the witch. He let those witches live.
Right. Absolutely. Because we didn't do that, then we, like you said, and I like how you use the word pandemic. Okay. All right, keep going.
Verse 19. Whosoever lieth with the beast shall whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death.
Okay. Now who are they talking about? Who should be put to death? Let's I like to do, but who are they talking about here? Who should be put to death? Somebody sleeps with the dog. Who should be put to death? Because there's bestiality. Especially the colonizer does stuff like that. Who should be put to death? Go ahead.
The beast and the man.
Both of them have to die. The dog has really received trauma that ain't gonna be fixed. Okay. Fluffy has lost it. Okay. And there's really still not so much therapy that Fluffy can get after that. Fluffy's got to die. Okay. And the person that did the perversion, they both got to go. Okay. So excellent point. And there's a precept of that in Deuteronomy. Okay. The beast and the person has got to go. Okay. You sleeping with dogs and cats and gerbils, you've got to go. Keep going.
Verse 20. He that sacrificeth unto any god, save unto the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed.
Okay, and sacrificing nowadays, you're making all these sacrifices for these false gods, for the Christian church. Okay, all right, because it destroys our people. Our people, I'm paraphrasing. What is it? Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. It's the Christian church. We're sacrificed for other gods. Okay, now I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. You see how far that gets us. Okay, keep going. Where are we going? 22. There we go.
Verse 21. Thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Okay, vex means, deal harshly with your neighbor, okay, or oppress them. Now all of a sudden your neighbor is working for you. Okay, you made your neighbor. You're not supposed to do that. Okay, for your stranger, I'm sorry, not your name, a stranger. So you're not supposed to do that. Like somebody, and that happens nowadays. Okay, people travel to another place. And what happens? They'll steal. So many, they don't talk about it, but so many young black girls are missing. Okay, right in D.C. They don't talk about that. Right in D.C., so many are missing. Well, they've been taken into slave, some type of, sex ring. Okay, right here in D.C. Okay, they've been oppressed. They've been kidnapped, pretty much. Okay, might just wander off or go somewhere else. Sometimes they drug them, and then they take them. Okay. But you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to deal harshly with a stranger, somebody coming from another land. Keep going.
Verse 22. Ye shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child.
Okay, you're not supposed to afflict a fatherless child, take advantage of somebody, that, maybe their parents, parents are really supposed to step in and protect their child. But, you got a lot of children out here that pretty much raising themselves, and people take advantage of that. Okay, we are not supposed to do that. Okay, or a widow, her husband's gone, so now you taking advantage of the widow. Okay, now you taking her for granted or taking advantage of her. All right, excellent work. That's it. Okay, just the people up here. I'm Mario. All right, Jerash, present thyself and thy registry. Jerash Amath, sorry. Jerash Amath. Ban Yehuda. Ban Yasha'ala. Jerash Amath. Ban Yehuda. Ban Yasha'ala. Yahweh Ba'asim Yahshua Brakatah. Yeshavium. All right. We are reading. Okay. We're reading Exodus chapter 22, 23 through 29. We're going to read it in the Hebrew first, then we'll read it in the English. Exodus chapter 22, verse 23.
Aina sa aina atwa kaya taza aik ya taza aik alya shamai taza aik kwathwa. Verse 24. Wakara apaya waha ragathya athkam wakarab wahayawa nashayakam alama nawaf wabunyakam yath mayam. Verse 25. Kasap. We're at Exodus chapter 22, verse 25. Kasap. Fellow wa af anya af anya imat la sahaya laya kanasha la sasha yamawan shamai one. No, it's like Shemai 1, Alyawa, the shock. Verse 26. Kabal, some Kabal, Shalamath, Ra'aika, Aid, Ba'am, Hashamash, Sasha Yabnawa, Lawa. Verse 27. Where am I going to? 29. Verse 27. Kaya hawa'a kasa wata labada hawa'a shamalathwa ba'arwa bama yashakab wahaya kaya yatazaik alya washa maithya kaya kana one anya. Verse 28. Alahayim la'a lakwalal wana shaya'am ba'aimka la'af la'ar. Verse 29. Mala athka wada ma'ika la'a the akar bakar bunyaka the thun laya. And that's it. All right, and this is the Rosh. Okay, Exodus chapter 20. Now we're going to read Exodus chapter 22, 23 to 29 in the English.
Exodus chapter
Start 22.
22, verse 23 to 29. If thou,
See the verse first, verse 23.
verse 23, if thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry.
Good.
Verse 24, and my
Wrath.
wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be
Widows.
and your children
Fatherless.
fatherless.
This is a really important scripture here because this shows how serious the Most High is of you taking advantage of helpless ones, especially like you take advantage of, especially ones in the school or ones in the truth. How serious the Most High is. You are not to take advantage of people in your nation, especially like the fatherless and the widows, because they're they can be helpless. And the Most High says, afflict can be different ways. Child molestation, taking advantage, that could be. And the Most High says that his wrath shall wax hot, and he'll kill you. Okay, so you might think you're getting away with it, but the Most High will kill you. Okay, and your line will be cut off. Okay, so that's why you have to be very careful how you deal with, especially people that are helpless in a way. Thinking about a child that's helpless. They can't really fend for themselves, and you trying to take advantage of them. The Lord will kill you. Okay, and He's saying that
especially you trying to go into somebody, doing that to somebody in your nation. All right, keep going.
Verse 25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor, by thee thou shalt not be to him as an
Usurer.
unuser, neither shalt thou lay upon him assuredly usury.
Okay, this is when you're charging somebody with interest. This is where interest comes in. You are not to. Why should you not charge somebody of your nature, a nation, interest? Might want to take it. You know, I call on people. You know, I'm the. You know, I call on people. Let's see here. Officer Mayak, why should you not charge? Is it well? First of all, does anybody know what interest is? Does everybody know what interest is when you? Okay, Officer Mayak, why should you not charge somebody interest, especially if they're poor?
Because they have something to offer you for that.
Well, they can't pay it back. If I'm borrowing money from you in the first place, and you like, listen, I was up, man, I borrowed $20. I was like, sure, you got to give me 40 back. That makes absolutely no sense. If I'm asking for 20, how you gonna make it 40 now? That's interest. And guess who does that all the time? That's what the white man does. That's what the colonizer does all the time. You're taking a loan out. You're taking a whatever, let's say a $5,000 loan, but you got to pay $7,000 back. And that keeps you in slavery. That is a form of slavery. Okay? You are to not charge the people of your nation interest. I mean, if they're coming for you for a loan, that means they have no money. So what do you try? Well, you know, I mean, you can, but you got to get 40, 50 back. Okay, that's a form of slavery. And, you know, the colonizer, he keeps doing that to keep us in slavery. Because that's why, you know, the poor man's never going to be able to pay off that loan. Okay, I'm sure people here that are in school or went to school still probably paying off school loans. You know, you pay a $10,000 loan, but all of a sudden, you know, $15,000. You know, that's just to keep you in slavery. All right, keep going.
Verse 26. If thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him. By that the sun goeth down.
Okay, if you're borrowing something from your neighbor, give it back. Make sure you give it back to him. You know, sometimes people borrow stuff, you never see it again. Okay, you never see it again. You know, all of a sudden, then you go into your house, you're like, that looks like my DVD, and it is yours. You know, it's like, oh yeah, it's yours. Oh, my bad. You know, it is yours. You know, make sure it's pretty much get stuff back to people if you borrow it. This scripture is talking about, like, you know, a garment or a cloak. You know, that used to be, you know, people might have had to wear that, you know, when it got nighttime when it's cold. So you got something to cover yourself up. The person you borrowed from is cold. You know, so get it back to people because they obviously are using it for something for their necessity. Go ahead, verse 27.
Verse 27. For that is his covering only. It is his raiment for his skin, wherein shall he sleep, and it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me that I will hear, for I am gracious.
Okay, so this just proves it. You know, a raiment, especially anciently, was for people. They used to sleep in that. Okay, so now all of a sudden, you going to be able to you borrowed the cover for your neighbor, and now you nice and warm. Your neighbor's cold that you borrowed it from. Okay, get the stuff back because they need it, obviously. Okay, they're going to bed all cold, and you nice and warm. Yeah, that raiment was really comfy last night. Okay, now they're cold. They're going. You know, the Most High takes that seriously. Okay, because that just shows that, you know, that's a selfish attitude. You know, you're just thinking about yourself. Go ahead, verse 28.
Verse 28. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people.
And in this context, let's talk about some of the judges, your judges, the people that, the judges of the land. You're not to revile them, okay? Your judges, okay? And you're not supposed to curse the ruler of thy people, okay? Notice even though King Saul was, pretty much, in the wrong against David, David never cursed King Saul, okay? I mean, he might have told him the truth about himself, but he never cursed King Saul, okay? Nor put a hand on him because he knew this precept, okay? Even though Saul was completely in the wrong, David let the Lord, the Most High, handle Saul, okay? Because at that point, Saul was the ruler of the people, okay? There's another precept when the high priest slapped Paul across his face, okay? I mean, he slapped Paul, and then Paul started to curse him, but Paul did not know that was the high priest. And they said, do you know that's the high priest? And Paul repented of that. He said, you're not supposed to curse. And the high priest was clearly in the wrong, okay? He slapped Paul. I mean, how many people are going to not react like that? But is the crook a little bit this way? It's good. 2 out, sir. But Paul knew the precept. He said, you're not supposed to curse the rule of your people. Okay. All right. Excellent. 29.
Verse 29. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquors, the firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me.
Okay. And this precept, you're supposed to honor the Most High with your first fruits. You think of the prophet Samuel. Hannah, gave Samuel up. So your firstborn. I think this eventually applies to the Levites. I think there's a precept up in the times of our Officer Gabar or outside. Y'all can correct me on this one, but I think in this scripture it says, "Thou the firstborn of thy son shall thou begin unto me." I think there's another precept where the Levites actually were the ones that were eventually given in place of the firstborns. I think that's in Exodus as well. But you think about Hannah; she honored the Most High with her firstborn and by giving Samuel up. And Samuel had to, Samuel was taken after he was weaned, and now he worked for the Lord. I mean, because all everything belongs to the Most High anyway. Okay, so but you honor the Most High with your first fruits. You're not to be greedy. You were supposed to take the first fruits before you ate anything and gave it to the priests. Okay, all right. That's it for that. All right, I'm money. Officer Alazam, present thyself in thy registry. I'm going to get knocked out. You want me to get him first? Okay, actually, you want to get knocked out. Officer Natazab, present thyself in thy registry. Natazab, Bunya Hawada, Bunya Sha'ala. Natazab, Bunya Hawada, Bunya Sha'ala. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Atham. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Yeshabia. All right, now we're going to be reading. All right. We'll now be reading Exodus 22, 30 through 31, and then Exodus 23, 1 through 5. In the Hebrew first, Exodus 22, verse 30, chapter 22, verse 30. Kan ta'aisha, l'sharka, l'taza anka, taba'ai, yum yum, yahaya, amwa, vayawam, asha, hasham yanya, excuse me, Thathanwa, Laya, verse 22. Verse 31, Salakia. Awanasya, Quadash,
Sahayawan, Laya, Wabashar, Bashada, Tarapa, La'a, Sa'akalwa, Lakala, Sashalakwan, Aqua. We're now in Exodus chapter 23, verse 1 in the Hebrew. La'a, Sasha'a, Shamai, Shawa'a, all, Sashaf, Yadka, Ain, Rashai, Lahayath, Aid, Kamas, verse 2. La'a, Sahaya, Akaria, Rabayam, Lara'aith, La'a, Ainam, Al, Rab, Lanataf, Akariam, Rabium, Lahataf, verse 3. Wadal, La'a, Hadar, Bariabwa, verse 4. Kaya, Gai, Shawar, Ayabka, Awa, Kamarwa, Ahaf, Sa'aiha, Hashab, Yabanwa, La'a, verse 5. Kaya, Zaraha, Kamawar, Shanaka, Rabai, Fakaf, Masha Awam, Waka Dalaf, Ma'izab, Lawa, Izab, Fa'izab, Imwa. And that's it. Okay, we're going to be officer. I want you to help, officer. I want you to help not to have him have his finger. Where is it? All right, now we're going to be reading Exodus chapter 22, and we're going to be reading verses 30 through 31 first. I want you to help him with your finger. Help him. Okay, starting verse 31. Verse 30. On whenever you're ready. I'm not to
Exodus 23,
22.
22, verse 30. Likewise shall thou do the sheep of the sheep. Likewise shall do the with then oxygen and be with thou thy sheep.
So I was thinking of the Khan.
7 days it shall be in the with his dam. On the 8th day of the shall give that not. Verse 30.
So you repeat the verse he just read. Go ahead and repeat it.
Okay. Verse 30. Likewise, shall thou do with thy oxen and with thy sheep 7 days. It shall be with his dam. On the 8th day, thou shalt give it me.
Okay, so 7 days, the same thing with the sheep and the oxen. With the oxen, the first fruits of those, you're supposed to give it to the Most High. Keep going. Verse 31. Let him read it, and then you read it.
Verse 31. Shall he shall holy men until me, neither shall eat and flesh and that the horn and beast of the field.
I love Capri. I mean, look odd. Don't be drinking water on the stage. Never mind. Let me wait till after. Big priest drinking a Capri Sun.
Verse 31. And ye shall be holy men unto me, neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs.
Okay, so you're not supposed to eat anything that's already been torn and eaten. You don't know what unclean thing had eaten that, because anything that's unclean that you touch, you become unclean. So that's why you're not supposed to touch a torn beast, because you don't know more than anything that already started to eat it was an unclean animal anyway. Okay, so now you're touching it, you become unclean. Okay, let's jump over to Exodus chapter 20. Oh, did you? Oh, keep going. I'm sorry, you didn't finish that reading. Go ahead.
Verse 23.
Oh, chapter 23. Yep.
23. shall thou shalt. Chapter 23, verse 1.
Mhm.
Thou shalt not rise on the falls fort, what they
Not
the hand with the wicked and be the righteousness.
witness.
Okay, you go and repeat it.
Karokan.
Exodus 23, verse.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness.
Okay, this is talking about, okay, you're not to, go with the crowd to give a false report. Precept, it says to put thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Who did they do that to in the Bible? They became unrighteous witnesses and made false reports. Who did they do that against? Go ahead, Al-Salazar. That's correct. There were false witnesses that came forward. Okay, they did that. Okay, that's exactly what they did to Yahweh Shah. And that's what these are supposed to be men of the Lord. You're supposed to be men of the Lord, and they disobeyed Exodus 23, verse 1, giving a false report so that he could be put to death. That's exactly what they were exaggerating stories and saying, oh, this man said he's God. They were just giving all these false reports. Okay, keep going.
Verse 2. Thou shalt not be not a follower.
Oh, thank you, Charles. Oh, I appreciate it.
Do the evil. Shall.
Shalaki, sir. This is like 5, because if you got 5 in here to make this full cup, the water. It was 2. Make a full the water.
They decline after many of the risk judgment. Verse 3.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment.
This is one of my favorite judgments because you see this all the time, especially in the world. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. You notice how people just don't have a mind, they just jump on the bandwagon. And they just, and it's this is a form of bullying. It's like, now we got to all jump on Al-Azhar, just because. And people do this a lot. Just jump on the bandwagon. And this is one thing Commander General Yohana said that I really liked, is that he said there's a book called The 48 Laws of Power. Now, before I came into the truth, I did read that book. But it's funny that Commander General Yohana says that book is nonsense. Actually, one of the law, or it's not really a law, we'll just say one of the things in there is actually contrary to this precept. It actually says that you can think what you want, but follow the crowd. Think what you want in your mind, but do what everybody else does. And this is actually in the book. Think what you want, like you have your open, but do what the crowd says. And this is actually going against this precept. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. You're just doing what everybody else says, to make yourself look big. And that's a form of bullying. People have done this, and many of you probably experienced that. Especially if you're the scapegoat. There's always somebody wants to jump on just because they're the easy target. Okay, they just jump on this person because they know that they might not defend themselves as quickly as other people. So they'll just jump on this person. All right, and that's something you shouldn't do. And you see a lot of that. Keep going.
Verse 3. Neither shall the countenance a poor man in his case cause. Verse 4.
Verse 3, go ahead.
Exodus, verse 3. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause.
Okay, so you're not to show favoritism in either way. Don't show favoritism to somebody because they're poor, or don't disrespect or dishonor somebody because they're poor. It's got to be a righteous judgment, because you can see people going either way. A poor man can do a sin too, and not just because he's poor. It's like, oh well, but you're not to show favoritism. Pretty much is showing, or show partiality because of somebody's class per se. Keep going.
Verse 4. If thou not meet thy enemies ox as his gas is going straight, thou shalt surely bring back to him. And again, verse 5.
Read verse 4.
Exodus verse 4.
23.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 4. The water.
Mhm.
If thou meet thy enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again.
Okay, if you remember this, the enemy, it says, if thou shalt meet thy enemy's ox, and this is talking about some of your nation or your ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. Okay, you know, that sister, your brother's not your favorite, but you see their money, because you gotta remember, ox are that's their money. You're to bring it back to them. I'm messing with them. You know, that's why you need to go to council. Okay, get that demon off you. You know, that's why you bring it back to them. Okay, and that might be a way that y'all can talk something out or have to go to council. Okay, keep it going.
Verse 5. If thou see the ass of him that hateth the lion under his burden, and the wildest forbid that help him, thou shalt surely help him with him.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 5. If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help with him.
Okay, this is to help you fight that demon. I mean, because it all can come on all of us, especially if it's somebody we don't like, you know, and we see that, you know, they're having trouble. Now, we don't have an ox or an ass, but you can relate this to maybe they're having car trouble, you know, and you leaving out, you know, you're to help them. Okay, you're not supposed to be like, well, it ain't my problem. You know, what do they say? Not my monkey, not my circle. You know, no, you're supposed to help them. You're supposed to help somebody out of your nation, or just be brotherly, but you know, have that brotherly spirit. Okay, all right. That was it for that? Excellent reading. Give him a hand. Knock this out. All right, just the people up here. This will be our last scriptures for today. Imadium. Officer Alazar, present thyself in thy registry. Alazar, Banya Hawada, Banya Shala. Yahweh Bashim Yashabakata. Yeshabium. All right, we're going to end it off today. We're in Exodus chapter 23, 6 through 12. We'll read it in the Hebrew, then we'll finish it off in the English. Exodus chapter 23, verse 6. La'ah, Satah, Mashapat, Abayanka, Barayabwa, verse 7. Madabar, Shaquar, Tharakak, Nakwat, and Nak, Wanakya, Watazad Yak, all. Well, Taza Dak Yak, all. The Harag, Kaya, La'am, Ataza Dak, Rashai, verse 8. Washakad, La'ah, Thakwat, Kaya, Hashadad, Hashakad, Ya'aiwar, Pakwakyam, Wayasalat, Dabarya, Tazadakyam, verse 9. Wagar, La'ah, Zalakataza, Wa'atham, Yada Itham, Napash, Hagar, Kaya, Garyam, Hayatham, Arataza, Matazarium, verse 10. Verse 10. Shasha, Shunyam, Thazarai, Aratazaka, Wa'asapath, Thaba, Wa'atha, verse 11. Wahashab, Shabai, Ya'ith. So, the water, just put it with the water. Wahashaba, Ya'ith. God, I'll put it right here. Shabbat, the water.
Tasha Matana, the water says too. When Tasha Tha, wa Akawa, Abayanya, Imka, Waya Tharam, Tha Akal, Kayath, Hashada, Khan, the Aisha, Lakaramka, Lazayafka, verse 12. Shashaf, Yum Yum, the Aisha, Aisha Yakam, Wabayawam, Hashabayaya, the Shabath, Lama'aim, Yana Wak, Shawarka, Kamawarka, Wanaya Pash, Bun, Amathka, Hagar, and that's it. Right?
All right, we in Exodus chapter 23. We'll go from chapter 6 to verse 12 in the English.
Verses 6.
It's like,
You said verses 6. You were saying chapter 6.
oh,
Verses.
it's like verse 6 through verse 12. It's like,
Sure.
thou shalt not rest the judgment of thy poor in his cause.
Khan, same thing we were talking about earlier.
Verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. Verse 8. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, and perverteth the words of the righteous.
That this happened all the time when we as Israel was going astray. We would take bribes. You're not supposed to take a bribe. But this would happen all the time, especially with our leaders. They love to take bribes. They love to take, especially in Yahushua. That's why Yahushua was so angry, because he saw and it was the priest. It was the priest and it's supposed to be the leaders. They would take bribes. Well, you see leaders today, they take bribes. Okay, you're not supposed to do that.
Right.
Pervert the words of righteousness. Come on, go ahead.
If I may add
Go
to that,
Go
like
ahead.
even crooked lawyers slipping in like envelopes of money to judges to sway them.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Off the water too, Officer my yacht.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
It's like, but good.
Oh, come on.
It's
Officer,
like the precept. It's, Slack, I forgot what it is. I'm a paraphrase. A wise man. What is it? Slack. For a gift destroyeth the soul. I just went over this yesterday. It's like it's pretty much saying like oppression make it for wise man angry. It's a lot.
Okay.
But a gift destroy but a wise man, but a gift destroys the soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's so heavy because you can be angry, wise in your anger, but a gift, you know what I mean, will destroy you and make you feel like, okay, everything is not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Kind,
Calm.
That's like
Verse we're in you can read verse 9. We're in verse
verse 9. Also thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
This is talking about people of your nation. Okay, you're not supposed to oppress people because people. Not everybody was born. Especially when Israel was scattered, or if people go out for work. When people come back into the land, you were not to oppress them. Okay, keep it going.
Verse 10. And 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. Verse 11. But the 7th year thou shalt let it rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and with thy olive.
Okay, this is an excellent scripture because if we followed this, our whole ecosystem would be fixed up. The people don't know some people do know, when COVID happened, when COVID was going on, the earth actually started to heal itself. Even the scientists were saying that, because if you have to let the land rest, for a year, but people, you let the land rest, but because the white man, the colonizers, they got to just, they got to make money.
Right.
Some people were melting during COVID because they couldn't go out and make the money like they could. They were melting. They couldn't handle it anymore.
Right.
They actually had to stay home with their children and wives, or people were going crazy during COVID.
Right.
Okay, it's like I got to see, but the land, actually, ecosystem started to heal itself. The land did naturally. It's a natural law built in. That's why you let the land rest. Okay, come on.
Like it's so heavy that we even give, like, even you gotta show brotherhood to the earth. You know what I'm saying, let the earth rest. You know what I mean? Like it say, don't do nothing, don't plant nothing the 7th year. Like you give the earth a rest. That's heavy, man.
And it says that the poor can eat, so people could have eat them, because the land needs the rest. But it's just but since we have an oppressor here that wants to just that's why the land can't rest, and that's why animals become extinct, because they messing with the ecosystem. They got to do all of this stuff that is actually harming the environment and destroying the environment. All right.
Verse 12. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the Sabbath day, thou shalt rest, that thine ox and thy ass may rest, and the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed.
Okay, so that people need to be refreshed. This is why people get burnt out at the job. Some people work 7 days a week. They get burnt out.
Right.
I know there's some teachers in the room. If you want a teaching job, you can get burned out quickly, especially when you're dealing with people all day. You could just it burns you out. But the Most High, put something where you could get a day where you can refresh. Okay, a lie. So this is talking about letting especially your employer. As an employer, you're supposed to let your employees rest, get the day off. That's how people burn out. And actually people will respect that and might want to do more when you're letting them have that day off. And not instead of saying, well, I need you to work double for no pay. Just do it for the company. We're a family. They talk, we're a family, So, all right.
That was it.
He's got
I got one.
He does.
I appreciate it.
All right. The water too, Officer Mayan. All right. Just the people up here. Let me, before I say about him, 1 sec. We're on number 29, Officer Yash. All right, just the people up here. I'm I had soda slacking. Usually when I drink, someone can't blow the horn. Okay. When he faced forward, we should have the Barack on there.
La Yashao.
Right. I'm gonna cover the scroll. Wow. Men of Israel, this is for the men of Israel. Imadium, which means to stand. Y'all can cover your whatever you have, just cover it up. Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Yahweh Bashem Yashabrak.
Yahweh Bashem Yashabrak.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakiyah.
Darash, do that again. Barak first and then do it. Okay, do it again, all over again. Shabbat, Barak, then go ahead. Excellent work. You want to take the scroll from him? He's going to salute. You take the scroll. Excellent. Go ahead and land it again. We got to uncover it. Got it. We're just going to read one prayer through the time for the people. Madiam, Wapanya Hakwadam, which rise and praise the Eve. Everybody. So this is for everybody.
This is for everyone. Amadium,
Wapanya Hakwadam,
Wapaya Aquadum,
means rise and face the
which
Eve.
means rise and face the east.
Okay, we'll do a hapak on 3. 1, 2, 3. We're just going to do one prayer with the time. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, then in the English. The Lord's Prayer. Abana. Shabbat Shemai. Kodah. Hayah. Simcha. Yahweh. Malak Wasta. Taba'ah. Chazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Lakarakazah. Sawa. Hayah. Shemai. The third now. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Salat now. Tablat now. Tasalat now. What now? From your eye now. When the sign one. A ball. I'm a shy now. A young. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha Allah. Wahapa Ara. The I will amen. Aman.
And in English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. That will be done. In earth. As is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Let's go ahead and cover this up. We are on number 32. Look in your book. We're on the second page. We're on the third page, actually. We're on the third page. We're on number 32. Okay.
This concludes the service.
This concludes the service. Let me blow the horn. Sister Yashab. Okay. So we're going to give one courtesy. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher.
Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua.
Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Brakatham.
Yamyamata. Yamyamata.
Sar, which means to turn.
Sar, which means to turn.
Sister Ahmad.
Sisters Ahmadium. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak,
Yahweh Shema Al-Atam Ba'ashim Yahushai.
Metapatah, Class dismissed.
Select. So which one? English. Sure. So it's make sure you Yamata. Yamata. Yeah, this one.
It's like, if it only wants to,